Hey, this is Stacey again, and I hope you will join me in the journey of creating a The Habit Burger Grill here in Sacramento, California. But right now, what I want to do is just go over very quickly each of the sheets, and I'm going to do one individually, upload them, and then I'm going to put them all in a video all together, just kind of giving you an idea of, if you're really just trying to understand the basics of what you're looking at, or there are a lot of you guys out there that do the work and don't know how to read a set of plans, which is okay, but it's not okay. And so, what I hope you'll do is take a basics class with me, and we can sit down together and I can help fill in any gaps that you may have in understanding how to read a set of plans. Okay, and I'm going to redo a the views video, an updated version, because the views, meaning what sheet am I looking at, what perspective am I looking at it from, and what does that mean for me? That's very important when you're looking through any of the sets of plans, whether it's the civil set, the architectural set, the electrical set. It really doesn't make a difference. So, understanding the views and what's a section view, what's a detail view, the symbols associated with those things, and really for each set, what you need to be thinking about if you're doing an estimate. I always think about everything from the perspective of completing an estimate for it. And so we're going to start with the civil set. What do you need to be thinking about when you're doing an estimate? Where do you need to go? What do you need in order to create a good takeoff, which in fact creates a bare bones estimate, which helps you win? All you want to do is win. And I've had arguments with students and conversations where they want to do all this other stuff because they know how they're an electrician and they know how to put something in, and you don't see that on the plan, so they want to add it to whatever. But that's not what an estimator does. An estimator looks at the plans, gives you a price based on what you see, not based on what you do not see. Now, if you go do the work, and see, there's a process, a winning process when it comes to estimating for GCs. And that's the only thing that I know. I have never really, I want to say, wasted or spent a lot of time bidding on residential. What I normally do on the residential end is make sure the homeowner isn't getting cheated by the contractor or the GC. See, I don't really bid to homeowners for a variety of reasons, because they want to be cheap, they want you to do work for nothing. It's not like that in commercial. They'll try it, but they can't get away with it because there's so many layers in a commercial project where the GC is being watched by the owner's lawyer, the project managers, other GCs out there that didn't win the project, and it's harder to be dishonest and it's harder to cheat. But there are those that try to get away with it. That's why you need some to speak with someone with years of experience of doing this, because you're not going to make a decent living just constantly trying to bid on residential work. You're just not. Because there's going to be somebody without a license, without insurance, without all the things that you have invested in that will do that job for half the price. And the homeowner does not care in most cases. All right, so I'm here to teach the big boys and girls. You want to bid on commercial projects. That's where the money is. You only need to do one or two or three of those a year and you're set. If you pick the right ones and you win and you know what you're doing and you know how to time your work. And so let's start with some basics. What's the C set? If I'm estimating, what do I need to think about? What do I need to look at? What's it all about? I have a zillion basics things, but every time I see a new set of plans, it's a new way of thinking about it. And so I like to do new videos and give fresh perspective and give a little experience of what I've dealt with in the past couple of weeks or months with clients or students that want to learn. I thank you a lot because I get a lot of compliments. I have a student now here in Sacramento that wants me to mentor them. I'm really not all that great. Okay. I'm good at what I do, but that's always been whether I repaired pagers when pagers existed. I had a pager repair business for was a claims adjuster for 10 years. I loved doing that. I loved repairing pagers, and now I love construction. So let's get into the civil set and what we need to know. Now, the civil set, and think about the civil set. Civil set is everything outside. Civil, right? We're supposed to be, civics is all of the things that we share as a community all together. We all share the underground utilities, right? We all share uh, the dirt, the ground, okay, the trees, okay, and all of that. And so that's what's in the civil set. And so when you think about the civil set, we got to think about we have to move dirt, we have to excavate, right? When you have a project with a C set of plans, it's almost certain it's from the ground up, right? Because if we have a civil set, that means we have a utility plan, meaning we have underground water, gas, sewer, storm that has to be built. Okay. And so those are the plans that you have. The hardest thing about bidding, if you're an underground utility professional or a grading professional, the hardest thing about that is how much dirt do I move in? And are the plans specific enough to give me an idea of how to calculate how much cut and fill there will be? Or did the architect already do the job for me? Which, if you don't have good earth views, then it's almost next to it. It's impossible to determine in any accurate way how much dirt you have to excavate in order to get the pipes down into the ground and then to cover up that and to do all that. And that's where I said the views are very important because you need a section view of the earth. You need a picture in front of you that can show you the existing grade, or the existing grade meaning the top of the dirt, the earth level, and the underground level where the pipe is going to go. You need to be able to see that in some kind of way in order to determine how much of that dirt needs to come out before you can put the pipe in. Okay, and there's so many things to think about when it comes to that. Okay, so let's look at the civil set. That's the C plans. And in this habit burger, we have, and in everyone, you're going to have existing conditions and the demo plan. Because, yeah, we did the survey. We got a bunch of tires. We've got underground piping. We've got an underground tank. We've got some old stuff that's been left there. And we have some trees we got to eliminate, whatever. Okay, so yeah, you're always going to have existing conditions. So if there is a set of specifications that come with this, which there should be, the existing conditions in demo, you're going to go to 000000. That's the division for existing conditions and demolition. And so here are the pictures that show us about the project, but then we're going to go to the specifications, which are the words that tell us how are we going to demo this, that, or something else. Okay? And so remember, the plans, the construction documents are the pictures, but the specifications are the words that go right along with the pictures that give you the means, how we're going to do, what equipment are we going to use, what are we going to use to demo, what are we going to use to dispose of it, the method, how are we going to do it, and all of the specifications on means, methods, and if there is material required, the specifications give you all the information you need about the material. So if you're underground utilities, what is the specific pipe that they are requiring you to use? It may just show you a 12-inch, 24-inch, 36-inch, 72-inch, whatever, storm drain. Your specifications are going to give you the specifics as to the make, model, the technical requirements of everything. That's the purpose of the specifications. Okay, so let's go through this C set. It's supposed to be a quick video, but so far it's not. All right, so when you have a set of plans, regardless of the set, you have a cover sheet. Cover sheet's going to tell you all the sheets that are comprised within the set. The most important parts, are all of it. Okay, the details Very important because the details give you all the little bitty things that you make sure you do. Shows you the thickness of your backfill material. Shows you the dimensions of it. Shows you how the pipe underground, all of that. So details very important. Okay, so let's go through each one. Horizontal control. That's a new term in the past 15 years. I'm thinking when I look at it, that's just the concrete asphalt plan. Okay, it's new. Everybody got to be nuanced. Horizontal control, also known as, I believe, let's take a look, uh, concrete asphalt plan. Okay, grading plan. Okay, grading and excavation. Do we know that those are two different things? Okay, excavating is like getting a whole bunch of, getting it out, getting it large amounts out, and then maybe backfilled once we get it out. But when we grade something, it's more like of a fine tuning of an excavation. It's like we've excavated it, we got some bumps and lumps along the way, but now we're going to grade it to make it grade. Grade means it's going to be level. Okay, so excavating and grading are two different things, two different types of operations, but we're still dealing with the dirt. We're excavating, we're getting it out of there, we're making it smooth, we're getting, there's some lumps, we're pulling stuff out, we're putting stuff in, but then we go and we grade it to where each of the curbs, gutters, manholes have to be at a particular uh, depth or width or height within the dirt, and it gives us all that information. Okay, utility plan. That's all of our pipe work, all of our everything underground that's going to come from the public utilities to the building itself. Paving plan, now horizontal control, that may be, see, now that's messing me up. Oh, that may be the storm drain. I'm just like putting it out there until I look at the sheet. I don't really care because paving is paving. And then erosion and sediment control. We know what that is. We're basically our erosion plan gets us our site all set up. So when we're moving dirt and we're putting down concrete asphalt, all of our construction waste stays within the boundaries of the project. None of the overflow goes into the storm drains or into the public, the water system, clean water systems, and stuff like that. And so that's the purpose of the erosion control and sediment control plan. All right, so let's look at the sheets. Cover sheet. Remember, all the right band is always the same. The only thing that differs is the page number. And this is because when the sheets are printed in real time, we just want to flip through this bottom and pull out the sheet we need instead of having it the sheet number up here where we gotta go through all of them and figure out the one we need. Here we just flip through the bottom right and pull out the one we need. Okay? And always know, make sure your plans are to scale. Meaning, if I measure 40 feet, so for here it says 1 inch equals 40. Okay, I've set the scale, and then I'm going to take a measurement to make sure that this is in fact 40 feet because it says from 0 to here should be 40, and it is. Okay, I had a student say, I use Autodesk and you use PlanSwift, but the numbers you have in PlanSwift are different than the numbers I have in Autodesk for the measurement. I was like, well, it's wrong. Yours is wrong because I do this and that tells me I'm right. If I did this and it said that was 20 feet, then my plans are not to scale because that should be 40 feet. So a scale in one system, it shouldn't be any different than a scale in another system because we don't live in two different worlds. Okay, 10 feet at my house is 10 feet at your house. Okay, it's just different people living in it. All right, so we got our cover sheet, all our abbreviations. Okay, you're going to get a lot of T's, top of TB, top of bank, top of curb. Okay, so go here and look because when we talk about our grading plan, it's telling you what elevation is the top of this or the bottom of that and the da 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 da, and I get them confused. I mean BW, that was I don't know. So I have to go here and sometimes you'll find some of the abbreviations are not in the set. These are like boilerplate. They use the same ones no matter the project. And we know that dark means new, gray means existing. Okay, so proposed, same as new work, gray is existing. So this is the existing overhead electrical because it is gray, existing gas because it is gray. Oh, this is the new gas line because it is in black. Okay, that's standard. All right, so let's go to the next one. A bunch of words. And this is all the stuff that is in the specifications, but they put it in plans, but you got to read the specifications individually. But this just helps you. Okay, so what do we have here? Some demo. What's typical to demo in Civil Set? Simple. Same colors existing. And then, yeah, we have when we need to remove something, it'll be right over there. These are the symbols they use, and they're going to tell you what to remove. Keynotes are key. You got to make sure you do everything that's within the keynotes. And sometimes things that are within the keynotes, you do it twice, even though it's only in the keynote once, right? So you may see the number one in a lot of different locations. So there's like the number four in a lot of different locations. Okay. And two, when you think about underground utilities, there's a lot of steps associated with that. If this is an underground sanitary sewer pipe, 6 inch, okay, your cost book and mine, if you want to purchase it from me, feel free. And now I do think I am going to have a online version where you will have a username and password, okay, and it's $10 a month. Where you can access my cost book for $10 a month or get your own damn cost book, okay? But mine, $10 a month. All right, so, and cancel at any time. A couple of things involved when you are demoing underground anything, right? Right? You have to move the dirt, okay? Then you have to move the pipe, and then you got to put the dirt back in, okay? So always think about that in any demo process. Concrete, what do I have to do? I got to cut it out, then I got to move it out, okay? Those are two separate costs, two separate things, two separate sets of labor for concrete. In this case, it's three separate. I got to get the dirt out, one. I got to move the pipe, two. I got to put dirt back in, three. Those are three different processes, three different sets of costs. Don't cheat yourself. Okay, so everything, what's one? Well, we already said what one is. Okay. Remove existing curb redwood header. Curb redwood header. Curb. Oh, it's redwood. Okay, it's a fence or something. And that's the bad thing about, demo plans like this. It's like, wait, what? What is it? So you may, that's why it's good to look at a set of plans and send questions if you're not quite sure. Okay. Curb and the redwood header. It's probably a curb with redwood on it. I don't know. But demo is great work. All right. So what's next? Here's the horizontal plan. Yeah, that's just I don't know. It's just what it looks like. Horizontal measurements, but that's a vertical measure. So, but it doesn't help us do anything. Okay, curve number C1. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, when you do your curves, you got to have the radius right, and I guess that's new. I've been looking at these things now almost 16 years. That's new. All right. So here we go. Grading plan, right? Because you know we've already excavated. Okay, we've already excavated. Where do we excavate? On what set? The utility plan. Okay. So this is that grading part where everything's out. You know, we need the earth to be this height at this location, at that location, and it's always at points along and this is the foundation. That's the foundation pad is here, right? Uh, and where do we get these numbers? I don't know. The government came up with a system called GPS, Global Positioning System, right? Where every place on the earth has a number associated with it, and that's how they do whatever they do and whatever they don't do. Okay, and so why is this 400, not a one or two or three or 10,000? Only God knows. Who cares? Okay, that's why I was always good in math. Everybody's like, well, why? Look, I'm going to get my A B if I don't come out with an A in math. So I don't really care why. That's how I felt about math because my parents, they didn't care. They just wanted kids having A's because they knew the kind of world their daughter was going to grow up in, and she had to be smart. Isn't that amazing? All right, so that's what this is. All the points along. So the foundation, the pad is at 21.20, 421.25, and then the foundation itself, foundation footings are lower, right? And the pad is up a little higher, right? Okay. And so that's all this is. So this I don't like the grading plans without a good, which is what this is. It's supposed to be a good section view. This is a section view marker for the earth for this plan. Section view markers: the circle, the hat, the leg, the foot. So you'll see this on in the civil set, the architectural set. It really doesn't make a difference because it's one of the views. It's a view that the architect wants to give you a fuller understanding of what you're looking at. And the understanding is where whatever the leg is going through. So the leg is going through this thing, is going through our foundation footing. So let me try to look at three over. So image three or picture three on page C4.1. Where is that? Picture three. Did I say three? Yeah. 4.1 is the next page. Picture three. One, two, three. Okay, so these are the earth views that I'm telling you about. But this really, I mean, you can, this doesn't really help you at all, not a lot, because it doesn't give you any vertical measures and it's not to scale. Okay, so what are we looking at? We're looking at, we cut the earth down, okay, where that section view marker was going. And here is the existing grade and landscape, all gray existing. And then this is what we're building, the proposed pavement per C6.0, the pavement plan. Okay. And so the foundation footing, right, FF has to be 2200. Okay, that's this, because this is the foundation of the building. And this squiggly means it's like we're just stopping it right here because you don't really need to know what goes to the left of that because it's not really important. Okay, but I'm just showing you this is our foundation footing. Okay, spread footing right here, the wall and the foundation, the habit burger, and this is outside. This is outside. Okay, and so the retaining wall, showing you where the retaining wall is, existing curb. So we're way above the existing here. So, okay. So that's what these are. Now, in a good, beautiful, fantastic world, and we'll look in our excavation plan if it has that earth view so we know how much we have to cut or fill. Because if, if this is grade, right? If this is normal grade, see, I'm not, let's see, this is a retaining wall. So this is all dirt. Okay, well, we don't have to go below the retaining wall very much. So, but what's the height of the retaining wall? Oh, it's a lot missing. We can't use that to to measure anything. We can just use it to see our good views that they want us to see here, there, and there, and what it looks like. Okay, so grading plan. We've done the excavation. Okay, we put the underground utilities in already. right? They have to be in before we put the foundation because we got stub ups all over the place. And we're going to have to put our foundation all around the stub ups and stuff, right, for our utilities. Okay, so that's that. That's what we just looked at. And now the utility plan. Okay, it's easy. So what does it tell us? D3, whatever D3 is, it's somewhere here. Storm drain. Okay. Install 2-inch storm drain pipe, link per daylight through curb to AC grade. Okay. Install stub. Refer to plumbing plans. So that's waters, different water, storm, dry utilities, gas meter. Look at the architectural. Okay, this is a nice clean utility plan. Easy to make measurements from this one. Okay, but there's those pesky little 421s, 22s, and all of that. Okay, so basically just telling you what the rim of the storm drain, clean out, SDCO. The top of it is that elevation. And this is telling us that the pipe that's going through it, the 6-inch, the elevation of that pipe is 417. So that's where it's going through. Okay, the pipe is getting received. Whatever goes through it is receiving down at. So they give you that for all of them. Okay, so that's easy. Okay, and so for this one, estimating wise, yeah, you got your measurements. You know how many linear feet of each type of pipe, but what do you also have now? You have your excavation to get it down in there. And then you have your backfill to cover it. And you have what? The bedding material. So there's got to be a detail somewhere showing us the thickness of the bedding material. But I need to know how far down into the earth this is. Okay, and so there's some really good ways to figure it out if you don't have that elevation view. And listen to me carefully because this saves you a ton of time and it gets you close enough without going nuts. And you need an excavation freaking number, bruh. You do. All right. So we know that here in the excavation plan, it's showing us the elevation of where the pipes and stuff are coming into existing. Okay. So an existing pipe, we're connecting to the existing. Okay. So that's a cost outside of new cost too to connect to existing. Okay. But we see the elevation of all of our underground utility pipe. They give us the elevation 417, 417, 416, 415. Okay. But we also know from the this plan, where is it? I said 417, 416. But we also know that from this plan, the foundation elevation, right, is 422. So the difference between 417 and 422, that's how far down we got to go. Okay? And so if you have your foundation footing, your 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 footing and your pad information, okay, your footing is lower than your pad. So we're going to go 422, 17 minus 22. So, okay, that particular pipe is 5 feet underground. Okay, so when I go back to my utility plans, I know 422 is my magic number, even though I don't have anything else. 422, okay, well, here, 422, 417. So I'm always going to go with what's lower. Okay, 17, 16. And usually when I do mine, I'll break it down. So I'll tell my client the storm drain is 10 feet below. The water is however many feet below. The sewer is that many feet below. Okay, we got existing right here at 409. But we've got to connect our new storm drain to 409. Okay, so I'm gonna go with 409 for my storm drain because that's usually down the lowest. Are the storm drains are usually down lower in the ground than and all everything's above that. Okay, so that's key to you completing or helping yourself. Okay, because again, there's no section views on this plan to tell us how far down everything is. That is a surefire way to be good with yourself. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Don't forget that. All right. Utility plan. Um, Paving. That's easy. Right. You just need to, have a good tool. And let's see. When we're doing curbs, would it be? We have a straight portion, and then we have a curved portion. When you're doing the takeoff, measure curved, okay, uh, separate from straight because yeah, it's more labor, okay, and so this is easy, very easy. What do they give you? A and B. We've got some control joints, probably. Let's see. So again, if you are in the Sacramento area and you want to bid this with me, please email me at info@sfjohnsonconsulting.com, and it would be worth it. This is when I first started 15 years ago, I had the nerve to think that I could get a bunch of contractors. I'll do all the estimates and we'll win these projects together. But I didn't know enough about dealing with contractors or estimating. But that has all changed over the 15 years. And it's like all my clients say, hey, I won the project you helped me with. Hey, this just last week. Hey. I'm like, you know what? I need to start winning them for Stacey now. And so get your licenses, boys and girls. We don't take anybody unlicensed. But yes, we will also move out into residential because, yeah, you know, I mean, I don't mind working with people, but, you, your labor isn't free. Your license you studied and worked hard for to maintain and not get tarnished. It's worth a lot, okay? And no, feel free to have someone do your electrical in your home with no license. Okay, and when it burns down, you remember you can't tell the insurance company you use somebody with no license. So I was raised to do shit right. That's been a blessing and a curse. Okay. Uh, all right. Pavement. That's easy. Okay. Read your notes. Okay, expansion material, sell back of rods and after joints have been cleaned and dried, installed. Oh yeah, that's easy. What we got here? Erosion. Okay, let's go back because we have to think about concrete asphalt from an estimating point of view. All right, so you got your form work, right? So we want to separate them. I normally do, and yes, we are in the process of creating a ultimate Excel spreadsheet for all the trades where every type of size of rebar be there. Do you want to do your concrete by the cubic yard? You want to price it by the cubic yard, or you want to price it another way? But for your concrete, you may have three components to your, well, really four if we're talking about finishing it and all, how you're going to finish it. But yeah, you got three components for your drywall. I mean, drywall, Lord, I'm on the last video. I'm sorry. Three components on your concrete, and that would be your formwork, right? And which is, you reuse your formwork, and so we price it as such. And your reinforcement, so is it mesh? Are you using number fours, number fives, a combination of all of that? And do you know how to determine, is it at the eights, at the sixes, at the 12s, at the whatevers? And can you determine how many linear feet of each one you need? Okay. If you are Stacey's student, you most certainly can. And last step is the concrete itself. And, you know, there are ways to price it, if you're doing sidewalks as opposed to driveways, and then the asphalt situation. How many levels, base level, da 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 da, So yeah, you got to think about all of that stuff, and yeah, especially concrete. You got to incorporate those three components: the the form work, the reinforcement, and the concrete. All right, next, erosion control. Okay, so this is pretty easy. You just go by straw rolls, and that, I mean, that's a little harder to price, but it's not impossible. Okay, if you've got you again, cost book saves you. If you have a cost book and you can break, that gives you a basic cost per each or linear foot or square foot, you can always extrapolate. That's a fancy term for change it up to fit your current situation based on what you have. So the math kind of works out the same if you have a lesser amount or even more. For instance, if the cost book gives you up to 4 feet by 4 feet column pads and they don't go any farther than 4 feet by 4 feet in the cost book, well, if you have a 7 foot by 7 foot, how many times a 4 foot by 4 foot is that? So you do the math, right? You say 7 divided by 4, it's 1 point something. And so your 7 by 7 would be 1 point something times in reinforcement, in formwork, in concrete. That's how that works. All right. So what's the purpose of the erosion plan? Shows you where all the material and the staging stuff is going to go. Closes in your construction with the entrance and uh, all of the little yellow fencing. You got your construction office and your concrete washout detail. So all of that stuff doesn't get mixed up with the regular sewer system, water system until everything is finished and closed out. So, and what we got here? Oh, all the details, the straw wattle and the details, and yeah, if you can measure all of this, then you can determine exactly how much your construction entrance is going to be. You know, this is nice. All right. And details. What we talk about when we talk about the details now, right? Your curb and gutter, your aggregate bases, right? What's this gives us a dimension of our gutter. Is this to scale? Not to scale, but 6 inch. It gives you enough for you to determine. And two, in the cost book, they know every kind of gutter we built over the last 100 years out of concrete. So every choice that you could build will be in there, and then you can, price it by the linear foot, which is beautiful. Okay, so your details, don't forget about your details, especially when it comes to your underground utilities. Your sidewalk, what's the thickness, all the details that you need. And we got another detail page. Yeah, see all of our, you know, T's and clean out, storm drain clean out. Okay, so this helps you do a little more accurate takeoff. If you know for every storm drain clean out, right, you've got to have the T, you've got to have the bend, you've got to have this, you've got to have some thrust blocks every time it bends, right? At every bend, every T. So you got to remember that too. And here, this isn't to scale, right? But we know how deep, right? The depth of the pipe because we figured it was 5 feet, 10 feet. So we got to figure this T plus 10 feet, 5 feet of this. This is just a mock, right? But the actual length from that we've determined is 5 feet, 10 feet, whatever, underground storm drain. Is that the storm drain? I think. So that what's that? 409, and our foundation was 422. Okay, so you got to always, regardless of the trade, remember the vertical measure of everything. Storm drain pipe, electrical conduit, okay, or framing, right? water pipe to an upstairs bathroom or even to the bathroom, right? The sewer's below, the water's above. So vertical measures get a lot of people in trouble because they don't incorporate our vertical measures and how far up this is. This is, again, this is a representation. This isn't the actual link to the the asphalt or the concrete driveway. Okay, so and you need what? How if you've got six clean outs, uh, you got to have 6 times 10. Six of these times the additional vertical measure. So never forget that, or yeah, you'll be the lowest bidder unnecessarily. So okay, and then we'll go over the landscape plan. Man, I swear, my whole career I may have completed 5 landscape estimates because I don't get a lot of them, and maybe they don't think people can do that for them. I don't know, but we'll go over that as well. So that's the civil set minus the landscape plan because that's part of civil set too. Okay, and so hopefully this helped you get a full understanding of what we're looking at, whether it's utility plan, all the little things three-step process on utilities. We got to dig it out, we got to put it in, we got to cover it up, those costs associated with that. Do you have a good section view of the earth to where you can determine how many cubic yards of dirt? Area is easy, right? Length times height. But when we talk about depth, we have to have a way to figure that out logically. Okay, and so if we know the foundation footer depth, and we know all the public utilities from the utility plan, it gives us what the depth of those are. We can do the math. All right. So if you have any questions, you want to take a class, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to my 1,000 people. And I thank you guys very much for watching all of the Black History stuff. You seem to like that more than you like construction. I don't know. But I'm mixing it up right now. I'm finally settled again. The summer is ending. Here it's been up to 113 in Sacramento. I'm from Los Angeles. It's not supposed to get that hot in California. But thank you guys very much. And look for a lot of these for the rest of the sets for the Habit Burger. And again, if you are new, minority contractor, join my team and let's bid and win this stuff together while I help you get your certifications and all the good stuff and make money the good old fashioned way. Hard effing work. See you later.